Hello, welcome to another episode of the Thought Leadership Podcast and live show. It's episode number 14. We are going live today with a topic that is really interesting because it's a bit behind the scenes of our Thought Leadership Academy, of our business. The reason why I want to talk about tools today, so the topic is 3 tools that are a must in your coaching business. The reason why I chose this topic is because when it comes to my own, when you use tools, sometimes you kind of forget how much you actually need them in your business, or not only need, but you use them. I've been using some tools or softwares or, things in my business for many years without you really thinking about it. I mean, sometimes you just want to be grateful for that they exist. And this is not a promotional episode. It's really no affiliate links in anything that I'm sharing today. It's just a bit behind the scenes, how I go about 3 different tools I use in my business and why I use them and how I use them and how they're making a better impact on what I create. So I'm really excited to share this with you today. And just to give you a bit of a background why I chose to talk about this topic at this stage is because my stage 3 program, some of you might know, I have a program called Momentum that is a stage 3 program for coaches and consultants that are already making 6 figures and they want to have a more sustainable business and more, become really the visionary in their business and have less of that ongoing admin work and doing things that they don't love that drains them. So I'm helping them with that in our 6 months program. Really exciting. And at the moment, right now, as I record this, I'm doing a work cycle with them. It's a 6 weeks work cycle that is about automation. And as we speak about it, I wanted to also share a bit with my community what tools I use. And those, of course, we are going much deeper with them in the 6 weeks. But those are the 3 tools that I wanted to share with you today that are actually really, really cool. And they're quite cost effective as well if you're starting off with, adding in your business. And I'm going to share a bit why I'm using and how I'm using them. Okay, sounds good. And we all have those tools, we all have these things that we use sometimes, and I'm always curious about hearing what you're using as well. So please share in the comment below what you have in your business that is like a must when it comes to running your coaching consulting business. We have, today we have 3 programs running with several, many members joining our programs. So for me, it's important that our time is spent well, that we are focusing on service and community, and therefore those tools has been a really great support for us. All right, so let's just dive right into it. I guess what's really exciting is to get to each and one of them. And again, this is not a must, but this has been really cool for me to use in my business. It has been really helpful for me. So this is why I'm sharing this with you, because it might inspire you to try them out and have a go with them. Most of them, actually all of them, they have free trials and free options. So you might want to have a go if you feel that this can actually help your business as you move towards the next level of your mission and your creation. All right, let's talk about the first one. The first one I have been using for more than 4 or 5 years. And it has to do with meetings. As you know that we spend a lot of time in meetings, and I honestly believe that we are spending too much time in meetings, now getting on calls with unqualified leads, getting on calls with, actually many times getting on calls when things can be done in direct messaging or in email. No, not every meeting has to be a meeting. And for that, to really use my time wisely when it comes to meeting, because we have all of us a lot of, we have 24 hours in a day, so you want to be able to spend your time wisely. I use Calendly, so all my calls, all my meetings are going through a Calendly, and there are other options. I think there's Get the Meeting, and you can check out some others as well. But for me, usually when my clients come to me and they have a lot of calls, with potential clients or virtual coffees or potential collaborations and all that, and they're spending a lot of time in those calls, and they're, not really structured in terms of time, how long they are and where they are going. I usually advise going into having something like Calendly to really structure your time better. And just to talk about how I use it is that all my calls go through that. So if someone is getting on the call with me, they have been booked in Calendly. There is a very low chance that they have a link that is not, a calendar link. So usually I have that for everything I do. So basically, if there is someone who want to have a virtual coffee with me, I don't do that so much time anymore as our mission is growing. But let's say I'm speaking with someone who's a potential collaborator and I want to go deeper with them, I will offer them to have a virtual coffee with me. If it has anyone who is someone who would like to join our program, they will get on a call with me with that link as well. If we have if I have podcast guests, I will get them through that calendar link. If I'm invited to podcasts, I'm getting booked through a calendar link for my and if it has to do with speaking engagement, partnerships, and also when it comes to my clients, if I have one-on-one calls with my VIP clients, they're booking themselves in through that link as well. Of course, not the same link. I have almost 7 or 8 different links, but that's really helpful because I can send them a link and they can see my schedule where there's a time to have a call with me, for how long, with a pre-qualification question, before they sign up for that call and before they book the call, they also answer a couple of questions that I want to know before we get on the call. That way we are using our time wisely. And I really believe that if you have a feeling of, I'm just running around, I'm just getting on those calls and I'm just feeling like I'm never getting to the end of my to-do list or end of my, I have my milestones for the month, but I'm not really getting there, then having a calendar link and having your calls booked through that and having a really structured approach to what are we going to talk about and how long is the call is going to be a game changer for you. I really, really love the way that has changed. For me, it has been something I've been having for 4 years. I honestly don't want to go back to having the back and forth, in messages like, when can you do that? Oh, that's what time zone? Oh, I cannot do that. Can we reschedule? It's just really complicated. It's really confuses and it's a lot of time back and forth, where it can be so much easier. So that's the first one I'm using in my business. I'm really excited about, and I really want to share with you because honestly, if you're not using it already, have a go. Calendly has a free option. There's also other tools that you can use that are very similar, but for me, I've been using that for almost 4 years. So it's been really, really great. That's the first one. Number 2 is email marketing. So here's one thing. I used an email marketing provider, marketing tool before, and I'm gonna say which one, but I didn't like the experience. And I moved over to ConvertKit about 1 year ago. And for me, email marketing has become something really exciting. Actually, it was something that I didn't really felt that we hadn't have in our business for quite a long time. And I'm wondering, wow, why did we wait so long? But I think it has to do with also with the user experience. For me, the other email provider wasn't really something that felt good for me in terms of the user friendliness of the platform. So when I moved to ConvertKit and I started sending out emails to my email list, I felt so good about it because what happened was the reason why I feel so good about having an email marketing provider I feel good about and also having connection with my list is that I really feel it makes a big difference in my business. When you have an email list, when you have connections that are following your content, and I'm going to talk a bit more about how I use it, when you have people actually opting in and following your stuff, it's so much different from having a Facebook following or Instagram following, LinkedIn following or YouTube following, which is also really great. But you don't really have the control of how many people see that, if you're paying with Facebook ads or not. If you're having, just organic reach, you don't really know how many people are going to get that. Whereas your list is your list, you own that list, you have the contacts, and they see that if you're sending out an email to your list, if you have let's say 500 to 1,000 people on that list, those people are going to see that. They're going to get an email. And most people are still, there were some stats saying that 91% of all people who are active online, they're actually checking their email every day. I mean, if you're sending an email to someone and they like your content, they're going to open that. You're going to have a real conversation. And many times you can actually go beyond that email of you sending them something and they're replying, and you will start to have a conversation with your community in another way. When I send out an email, I usually get, 10% who reply, 10% who reply to my emails, which is really nice because I can keep going with the conversation. They get content, they get value. I get to know them better, and we grow together as a community. I really feel it's not a one-way conversation. It's really a dialogue. I really enjoy it much more now that I have found one marketing tool that works for me. So if you are, you're doing marketing, email marketing, and you're feeling like I don't really enjoy it, have it go. For me, it made a difference when I changed to, the user experience was better for me with ConvertKit. I'm not gonna say that it's gonna be the same for you, but for me, changing email provider allowed me to really have a better experience and actually enjoy creating content and enjoying creating emails in the way that I wanted. So now let's talk a bit more about how do I use it? How do I actually use emails, and how do I send out emails, and what I do with that? Because it's also exciting, like, why do I really think it's such an important tool? It's because I actually use it every week. I send out weekly content. So when I produce my content in terms of podcast and live show, I usually share that with my list, so they have the first access to it and they never miss an episode, which is really cool for them. So if you're not getting those episodes, if you're not having them coming your way every time there's a new one, let me know. Just tag me below when you're listening to this episode, and then we can add you to the list so you can also get that. It's always great to have have the links ready in your email inbox, and you can check them out on the weekends when you have the time, and all in once, and maybe binge watch or binge listen to a couple of the episodes at the same time. I also have exclusive invites to our free trainings. So both me and my co-founder Sebastian, we offer live trainings from time to time to our list. They have the exclusive, that they always have the first access to all our content and all our free live trainings or challenges and stuff like that. So it's really cool for them to actually have a sneak peek into our community and have some even more valuable content that comes with that. And then also from time to time I invite new members who are ready to join our academy, our Thought Leadership Academy. Through the list, I will invite them to join either our first stage program, which is Pivot, or Momentum, that is for already six-figure businesses. And then we also have 2X if you are looking to really doubling your fees in upcoming 90 days. So we have 3 programs, and from time to time we invite our members from our list to join that as well. So they have also the first exclusive access to our community and our members when there is a spot open for them to join. So that's basically how I use the list, and the way I feel about the list today is that it's actually a real community, a real dialogue with there are people on my list that have been there for years, and it's always exciting to create that community and link with people, because as I mentioned before, you have another type of access to them, you have another way of communicating, whereas you don't really know who's watching your stuff on other social media platforms. You don't own that traffic, you don't own that community, and you don't have you cannot just send something out and hope that everyone's gonna watch it, because there's so much that comes with algorithms or paid or non-paid reach and stuff like that. So I feel like I have a bit more control over who I would like to reach and how I want to communicate with them, and also that they actually get it in their inbox, so they can access that directly when they want in their inbox, not having to find that post somewhere else. So that's about ConvertKit. That's the one I'm using. I'm not telling you that that's the one you have to use. Again, this is not a promotional affiliate link episode. It's the behind the scenes of my business. This is what I'm using myself. So I just want to share with you so you can have a go, have a try, or at least think about okay, do I want to use an email provider, or how do I feel about this, and how am I using this and that? Okay, and the third one is the last one, is the one we are using, our dashboard, our membership space, our all-in-one, which is in our case Thinkific. And Thinkific is mostly for online courses, and there are other tools like Teachable and Kajabi. There are so many different, but for me, Thinkific is the one I started with about 2 years ago, when we started our first online course training on that platform, and I really enjoyed the experience. So we've been staying with them at the moment. We are still with them, and we are using that. And what I love about it is that I love for our community to have an all-in-one place to come. So it's like if you have a coaching call with a VIP client or a group coaching or online courses, there's one place where all my clients come, and that in that one place, it's basically their home. So they can access that. They have a welcome kit. They have an online course access. They have resources that they can go through between the sessions. They have replays of all our calls. I can actually contact them, so I can just decide I'm going to speak to some members and write them like a reminder for, like today when I'm recording this, I just had a call with my pivot members just before, and I send them an email through Thinkific saying like, we're going live in this like half an hour, join me on this link, and I can put the replays after. It's just a great all-in-one tool for me to be able to support my clients. It doesn't have to be an online course. It can also, like for us, we are doing group coaching. We have different programs with live training, so it's really, really practical. And also my one-on-one clients have access to that. It's really good for like in between resource between the live sessions, so they have more implementation going on in between the calls. So I don't do the information, we do reverse education, so they have access to that before they check it out, and then we have the call where we can go much deeper when we speak. So this is why I love having like a one place, like an all-in-one place, which is basically the home for my clients. It's the home where they go to, they check out all the stuff. We have a community space as well, but this is basically the home base where they can go through their materials, they can watch the replays, they can get the reminders for our calls. It's all there. And also what's really good about it is that we have automatic installments. So for instance, for the payment, if someone is with us for like a year, let's say, and they have monthly installments, we can do that through Thinkific, and all those platforms like Kajabi and Teachable, they do the same. Again, what I believe is important is to remember with Thinkific or with ConvertKit or with Calendly is that I chose them, I tried them out, and the user experience was good for me. I have tried other platforms, so I think it's also about finding what's working for you specifically. For me, those 3 platforms and tools or softwares, whatever you want to call them, have been really important for our business because they have become such a big part of what we do that I don't really think about it before, recording this episode. But I wanted to share that because I felt that it might be good for some of you who are thinking about really, creating more sustainability and automation in your business, to have like some ideas of how you can use it, why we chose those platforms, or why we chose to have something like this, and how you can use it yourself. So this is really a short episode today I wanted to share with you, but to really give you some insights behind the scenes of our business. And let me know if you want more of that, because I know that some people were asking me about those questions, and I wanted to basically do this episode to give you some behind the scenes, share what we are doing, how it's working. And if you like that, if you want to know more about how it looks like, what I use, how I spend, how I structure my day, or how I organize our delegation for our team or something like that, let me know in the comment below. What would you like to hear more about? And of course, if you like this episode, tag the people who need to hear this, share and comment on our YouTube channel, on all our podcast platforms. You can subscribe and leave a 5-star review, or if you're in the Facebook group, please like. That way I know that you're with me, that you find this valuable, and we keep going together with amazing, valuable content for you every week. This is for coaches and consultants who are stepping up, who are continuing working towards the mission of more profit and freedom. And I really want that for you. So this is why we are doing this episode. We are providing massive value so you can actually take this and implement into your own business straight away. And it's also always exciting to hear back from you when you hear an episode. I'm always happy to hear how you're using all of the tools that we are creating here together. And that's about it. It's a short episode today. I wanted to share that because some people were asking me about it, and because we are working on automation as the 6-week work cycle in our stage 3 program Momentum. So I also want to give you a sneak peek of a couple of tools that I mentioned in the 6-week work cycle. So if you have any questions, just reach out to us. We're always happy to hear from you. And until next time, have a wonderful, wonderful day.